Yeah. So, hello everyone. Welcome to the Teen Debater, quick impromptu debate. Let me just introduce you to about our community. The Teen Debater is a non-profit community dedicated to revisionalizing debates, education, and everything. We are committed to democratizing debate education, making it as fundamental and accessible as coding or other essential skills for the 21st century. And our mission is to focus on revolutionizing debate for young minds by hosting high quality conferences that foster education, inspire real life change, and build comprehensive MUN and debating skills. So yeah, these are our impacts and recognitions. The Annie News, the print and everything. 70 plus events are conducted in this city and 40 plus. Our goals is to develop strong research, public speaking, critical thinking, confidence, and diplomatic skills. We provide high quality guidance and constructive feedback from a knowledgeable executive board. There are structured workshops. TDD Economic is an example of it. Also, there is WDC event that is coming up. You can all register there. Study guides, practical resources. We help beginners and experienced debaters as well. We collaborate with each other, we exchange ideas, and there are lasting professional relationships with mentors and students. Also, the project leads are Diana and Vani, that is me. I have participated in MUN conferences. I have won Best Delegate at one of my conferences. I've played Sobroto and DSO as a part of my football team. And also, the project lead is Joanna Segal, selected at represent Team India at Harvard College, one of the best colleges. She's also winner at Awas Tournament Autumn Edition 2025. She has published, press covered, as well as radio featured author of the book The Shadow in the Chaz. Now, about the event, this is an fast paced debating format. Motion will be given on the spot. Uh, 10 minutes preparation time will be given. We focus on clarity, logic, and articulation, and no pre written speeches or prior research, as we are going to give the motion on the spot. What is the event about? Participants will receive the motion live. They will think and respond. You all have to think and respond instantly. There will be a structured argument within strict time limits. Emphasis, and there should be emphasis on reasoning. You have to give your reasons about your speech or everything. The goals and
Okay,
objectives of
Dia,
this event is that it will, yeah,
could you turn the previous slide? I want to tell
yes,
something
Joanna.
important for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Great. So, guys, a very important part of this event is no research. Because a lot of you are using AI as well to form your speeches, and we do not really support generative AI. So, no prior research. And what I mean by prior research is no stats, no Google whatsoever. In all your motions, we will give you an info slide and we will ask for motion clarifications if there are any. So, please direct your doubts towards us. No Google, no AI of any sorts, and even stats are not really recommended in this format of debating because we do not allow you all to use Google. So there's no way you could possibly get stats. So your main focus should be on reasoning and argumentation of your debate, basically how well the flow is and how well you prove your points. So make sure you keep that in mind because we will eventually get
Joanna,
to know if
please
you use
check your
AI.
network connection. Joanna, please check your network connection. You are cracking a little. So, Joanna, are you done? Okay, let's continue right now. The goals and objective of this event is to develop quick thinking. You have to think quickly without using any AI or research. You have to give your thoughts quickly and
Okay, everyone, they are disconnected. So just confirming, am I audible to everyone?
Yes.
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 Okay, no problem. Is there any doubt related to the format of the event? I would like to take any doubts right now regarding the flow of the event, speaker times, anything.
What about the question?
Is there any doubt related to the format of the event? Yes, Samira, go ahead.
How long would the minutes be?
The speaker time would be 3 minutes each.
Okay. And so are there like cross POIs or something after them, or is it just you give your speech?
yeah.
Uh, we will have a 3 minute speaker time and then a 1 minute POI round as well.
Okay.
But we could we
Yes.
could do one more thing. How about a 4 minute speaker time with POIs included? I feel like that is better, and we'll also follow the WSDC guidelines for the same.
Okay. Thank you.
Rajveer, is there any doubt?
Joanna?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Should I
Give
just
me
complete the presentation first?
give
Ma'am,
me a
actually,
second,
I
Dia.
had a request to the
Yeah.
judge.
Go ahead, Rajveer.
No, actually, I wanted to say that what we can do is first we can do prop opt and prop op. Basically, in Asian parliamentary debates, what happens is first the proposition or the opposition goes, then the proposition, then again the opposition, like 1-2-1-2. Basically, that's the format. Like,
Yes,
and
Rajveer,
yeah.
we are following the WSDC format, so do not worry about that.
Also, can we have PYs late? Can we like have a Q&A round later, like the PY session later after all the speeches are done?
No, as I just said right now, we are following a WSDC format, so a 4 minute speaker time with POIs included.
Oh, okay.
Can we
And
answer through chat?
No, only verbal answers. If you do not want to answer the POI, you can say POI denied. But once you have heard the question, you're supposed to answer verbally only.
okay, works.
Great. Anshika, is any doubt?
Will there be any protected time?
Will there be any?
Protected time. Protected time.
Yes, the first and the last minute of the speech will be protected. We'll get to that. First, let Dia complete the presentation. Great, Dia, over to you.
Yes. Yeah. Joanna, if you're able to see my screen. Yes. So, why this event? You can have real life discussions. We rarely allow like preparation time. This encourages instant analysis and response. It will train your thoughts really quickly, and you can organize them really quickly, and you can just present them. It can boost your confidence. The uniqueness is that the motions will be announced live, equal fitting for all the participants. We judge are on only seeing reasoning, structure, and how you deliver your content to us. Your thinking ability is prioritized over memorization. I'm so sorry. Yeah, and no AI used, please. The event format is that motion will be announced live, 10-minute preparation time, 3 minutes or 4 minutes. Now, Joanna just corrected it, 4 minutes speaking time per participant. Speaking order will be decided based on the registrations, platform, and mode. It's used on Zoom. Yeah, communication, WhatsApp groups for registrations, official communication, instructions, and meeting links. Yeah, the estimated duration is about like 60 to 90 minutes, and the time is like 6 p.m. All you know. Get in touch with us on YouTube, Discord, Instagram, Linktree for everything. There are more events that you can join in. There is a WSDC crash course event coming, and there is also a big event coming on 31st Jan, dramatic interpretation. It is the biggest event, and you all going to have fun. Please go and register there also. Thank you. Joanna, hand over to you. Yeah. Anyone doubts?
Dia,
If
before
any,
we move on to doubts, give me a
yeah.
second. First of all, am I visible to everyone?
Yes, you are visible.
Yes.
Great. I would first like to explain you how this is going to work. Since we have a total of 10 participants with us, what we're going to do is we're going to do a 3v3, that is a proper WSTC tournament or proper WSTC debate, I'm so sorry. And with a 3v3, we're going to do a 2v2. So basically, essentially, everything is going to remain the same. So I want you to really carefully listen to this. What happens in a 3v3 is at first the speaker of proposition will speak, then the speaker of opposition, then second proposition, second opposition, third proposition, third opposition. That's it. There will be no reply speeches. And in all of these constructive speeches, that is first prop, second prop, etc., etc., you will have a 4 minute speaker time in which the 0 to 60th second will be protected. That will be, there will be no POIs in those 60 seconds. Also, the third to the fourth minute will be protected, and there will be no POIs in the third to the fourth minute as well. So essentially, you guys can only answer POIs and only reply, ask POIs in the second to the in the first to the third minute. Is that clear, everyone? Guys, a thumbs up, a yes would do.
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Actually,
And what
I
happens in
have a
the
doubt.
2v2? Give me a second, Rajveer, I'll get to that. What happens in the 2v2 is instead of the third prop and the third op, we're going to do straight away second prop, second op, debate finishes. Everyone got that? Great. Go ahead, Rajveer.
Yeah, so basically in a 4 minute speech of the 3v3, so what I wanted to ask is that like can we interrupt the speaker with a POI, or like in the first 1 minute how do we like erase the POI?
Okay. So according to the POI guidelines, basically, you can do either the two things. First, you switch on your mic and you go ahead and say POI, that's it, and you switch off your mic. All right? And if the speaker says accepted or rejected, you can you can ask your POI based on that response. If the speaker goes ahead and say accepted, you can ask your POI. If they say rejected, you need to turn off your mic and you need to, not ask the POI for another 30 seconds or somewhat.
If we
Okay?
wish, can we entertain if you want to accept the PI, but it will basically it will disturb the balance of the speech, fluency of the speech. So can we entertain the PI after the speech if we
No,
wish?
no, you cannot. I'll explain this again. So basically, if you do not want anyone to interrupt in the middle of your speech and say POI, you can, before your speech, go ahead and say, I will take POIs via chat only. And what it means via chat is that nobody will ask the question on chat. You are just going to type POI on the chat. I'm going to give everyone an example. This. And if the speaker says accepted, you will then ask your POI verbally. That is, you will unmute your mic and then ask your POI, and then the speaker will answer the POI in the middle of the speech. All right?
Okay.
Or you
Okay.
can do the vice versa, you can open your mic. But nonetheless, you will always answer your POI in the middle of the speech according to the WSDC format.
Yeah. Also, one more doubt. So now will we have like two separate debates? Like there will be two topics, one for 3v3 and then for 2v2, or like how?
Yeah, there will be two topics, one for 3v3 and one for 2v2.
So first there will be 3v3 or 2v2.
Dia and I will be will both be judging, so different rooms that will happen in.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, one last doubt.
Go ahead.
Basically, if for example 3v3 is there, and if the judgment is done by the judges, and before 2v2 starts, if we wish, can the 3v3 is some members can leave.
See, both the rounds will happen simultaneously. What I mean by that, in one round, I will be judging the 3v3 debate or I'll be judging the 2v2 debate, and simultaneously, Dia will be judging the other debate. So you
Oh,
all will approximately finish at the same time.
Okay, got it.
Great. Any other doubts from anyone? Great. Seeing none, we will now decide teams.
Yes.
Great. I want everyone to note
Excuse
this
me,
down.
could
And
I
sorry?
could I ask a doubt?
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
All right, so the 10 minutes prep time, you asked us to not use any generative AI for stats or whatsoever, but without, I mean, you know, not using stats, can we use it for any other information, or do we absolutely just rely on ourselves?
No, you should absolutely only rely on yourselves because, anyways, 10 minutes is too short to form a speech. So do not use AI at all.
No, not AI, just internet in general. No, right?
Yeah, no.
Thank you.
If there's any doubts regarding to the motion, you can ask it to us. Any definition or anything that's not clear, direct the questions to us.
Thank you.
Okay, Dia, could you note this down as well so that we have a record for ourselves? Great.
Yes.
I'm now going to form teams. So Ananya Rehani, Avishi Rai, and Amey Uchaguanka. Is that how you pronounce that? I'm so sorry if I did it wrong. Is Amey in this room with us? Okay, yeah, he is. Okay, you
Yes, I
three
am
will be
present.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I was just asking about the pronunciation. That's all right. Okay. Ananya, Avishi, and Amey will be proposition in the 3v3 debate.
Yeah, just a clarification. It's Anya.
Oh, really sorry again.
It's fine, it's fine.
Okay, Anya, Avishi, and Amey will be 3v3 in proposition. Everyone, please note that down. Then Anshika, Abneesh, and Khushi will be opposition in the 3v3 debate. Great. Dia, did you write it down? Is it done?
Yeah.
Great. I'll move on to the 2v2 debate now. Rajveer and Sanvi will be proposition in the 2v2 debate. Great. Samaira and Tharaz will be opposition in the 2v2 debate.
Samira and
Tharaz. I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. I'm really sorry.
RS.
Okay. I'm really sorry, guys.
yeah.
Ma'am, can I have
Should
the
I
name of
just
opposition once more for 3v3?
Anshika, Avinash, and Kushi are in the opposition.
Great, everyone. Before I share the motions, is there any doubt?
Nope, not from my side.
Great. I will now announce the motion for
Who's my partner again?
your partner is
Samira.
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 Great. I'll just create the breakout rooms. Give me a second.
Can I ask a doubt?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
The POI has to be directed towards my partner or anyone else in the opposition, since I'm proposition.
Anyone towards the proposition, essentially the one who's speaking.
Yes, thank you.
Ma'am, I
Just
also have a
please
doubt.
decide who's. Yeah, go ahead.
My doubt was if I have like written a speech and I have said my speech in approximately 90 to 100 seconds and I have remaining time. And I also want to designate my last 60 seconds, which are protected for POIs as well. Can I or can I not?
No, you cannot. You
You
cannot
cannot.
take POIs or answers POIs in the last 60 seconds. So essentially, if you want to take POIs in your speech at a very specific duration, you can tell the speaker that, okay, I'll take the POI later. And at that very duration, you can say that I'll take the POI now. So not in the first or the last minute, essentially anywhere middle.
Then if like how am I supposed to present the last 60 seconds?
The last 60 seconds could be
You can,
conclusion or another argument, whatever you seem suffice.
yes, you can just give the motions to them now.
Great. I have opened all the breakout rooms. Can all the participants see breakout rooms? Okay, do not go into any breakout room right now. Great, Avish, you went to a breakout room. Give me a second, guys.
Excuse me.
Please do not go into your breakout rooms. I'm yet to announce motion, so there's no point if you go to your breakout rooms.
Excuse me.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
But I've been assigned to the 2v2
Yeah,
breakout
yeah.
room.
Forget what you're assigned to. Okay, that is a very automatic thing that I could not really take care of. So
Okay,
if it sends you a request, do not accept it. Go to
yeah, sure.
whatever I told you verbally here or Dia told you. All right?
Okay, thank you.
Great. I will now announce the motion for 3v3. Great. The motion for 3v3, I'll also send this in chat, so don't worry. The motion for 3v3 is this house would make all femtech innovations open source. This house would make all femtech innovation open source. Okay, so what femtech basically means is that femtech yeah, sure, do you have a doubt?
Yeah, it's about the motion.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
What do you mean by like open source? Like available for everyone to replicate it or available for everyone to use it?
It is available for everyone to use, replicate, distribute, modify, anything. It's basically freely available. There's no restrictions to that.
Okay, does that also mean not even patent or not even any copyrights?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Rajveer, is there any doubt?
Yes, ma'am. So basically, for example, the opposition has made some points that are factually inaccurate. So can we raise like an MUN's point of order? So what should we raise? If
You cannot raise any such point as that. It's up to the discretion of the chair if they can identify if there's raised a factually error. But as I already said, facts and stats are not supported in this form of speech, so there cannot be a factual error.
okay, works.
Great. Now, for everyone, what femtech basically means is that femtech refers to a sector of the tech industry that provides service for women healthcare. Essentially, apps that track fertility solutions or period tracking and sexual health, all of that. Basically, all health concern or health apps related to women. I'll put the info slide in chat as well. Any doubts related to the 3v3 motion?
Ma'am, I have a doubt. You just said that the female health technology, does it also include only services or does it also include the products that are respondent to the technology?
It's basically a tech industry. So anything that is related to tech, it can be apps, it can be a robot or service provided, anything related to technology specifically.
I have a doubt.
Sure, go ahead.
The thing is, when you were explaining open source, my network was kind of lagging. Could you repeat yourself, please? What is open
Yeah.
source exactly over here?
Open source basically means that you could use that technology, you could distribute it, you could modify it, and there's no patent or copyright as such on that technology.
Is this femtech only for tech industry?
I'm sorry?
Is this service only for tech industry women or for all?
No, the service is available to all. The product that the product that the industry makes is specifically very tech related or technology related. It's basically, if it's still confusing, it's basically a period tracking app. If you know what a period tracking app is, it is an example of a femtech technology that is freely available on Play Store or App Store, etc., etc. But that very app may be copyrighted. So what this motion is debating about is to make all femtech innovation open source. Any doubts? Okay, seeing none, I would now move on to the 2v2 motion. The 2v2 motion goes as this house opposes the sale of citizenship in small island developing nations. I can paste the motion in chat as well.
Has anyone any doubt for the motion?
Ma'am, could you mean like what type of sale?
Sale of citizenship. Okay, I'll
Like,
explain this.
yeah.
Sale of citizenship basically means that countries in small island developing nations have actually really low population. So what they do is they go ahead and they sell their citizenship for a certain amount of money to anyone willing.
So, ma'am, in this case for so basically opposition will be indirectly prop. Like now this is opposes. So we like basically support the sale of citizenship.
Yes. On
Okay.
opposition, you support the sale of citizenship.
Okay.
Great. Any other doubts? Okay, seeing none, you all can start and move to your breakout rooms. Dia, could you repeat their proposition and opposition so that it'll be easier for them to move?
Yeah. For 3v3 first, Ananya, Avishi, Amay are for preposition. For 3v3, Anshika, Avina, Avinish, sorry, Khushi are for opposition for 3v3. Is it clear?
Guys,
Three
please
three
start
three v
moving to your
3.
breakout rooms.
Yeah. Can you just send him the link to Avinash? Can you just invite him to the breakout room?
Yeah, sure. Which side is he on?
He's 3v3.
3v3
Opposition.
prop op.
Opposition.
Okay, opposition, right?
Yeah, opposition.
There you go. I invited him.
Yeah.
Can we
So
ask questions to our team members? Like, if I'm in opposition, can I ask questions to my opposition members?
No, you can only ask questions to proposition members. So why would you ask questions to your own team? Basically, what POIs is meant for is so that you break their case a little bit using your questions so that the chair can identify the weak spots. I'll just move everyone
yeah,
manually. Which room is Samaira supposed to be in?
Samara is for opposition 2v2.
Okay. Which suppose Anya.
Anya is for 3v3 preposition.
Anya, could you please join 3v3 position?
I joined the breakout room, it was empty, so I came back here.
No, go ahead and join. I'm moving
Yeah.
everyone to the breakout rooms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Anshika Goyal, which room is she supposed to be in?
She's supposed to be in opposition 3v3.
Okay. Anshika, could you please join your designated room? Okay, Sanvi.
Tanvi for preposition 2v2.
Sanvi, I invited you. Please join your designated room. Great. Give me a sec. Khushi,
Opposition 3v3.
I invited you to opposition 3v3. Khushi, please join. Avishi.
Avishi preposition 3v3.
Avishi went to opposition 2v2.
No, how? She's in preposition 3v3.
No, the room. That's all right. I moved her.
Yeah.
Amay.
Preposition 3v3.
Amay, could you please join Proposition 3v3? I invited you. Great. I'm sorry, I forgot the pronunciation of your name again. Is it Tharad? Thar
Aris.
Taras.
Tharas.
Taras.
I'm so sorry.
Taras.
Yeah, which room?
Opposition 2v2.
There you go. I invited you as well. Please join your respective rooms and, work with your teammates to frame a case.
Taras, can you join your breakout room? Why is he not joining?
He joined. That's all right.
Yeah.
Great. Sai, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah.
Could you move to one of the rooms?
Which room shall I move?
Uh, SMC is in Op 2v2, so you can move to Op 3v3. Dia,
Wha-
who else is in Prop 2v2 except Sanvi?
Rajveer.
Rajveer disconnected. Should I text him?
Yeah.
Or
Just a
else we
sec.
need to arrange for a swing, right? Give me a sec.
Yeah, but
Sai, could I text him on the group or do I privately text him?
I think he will join. Just give him a minute.
Great. After Rajveer joins, Dia, you can move to which debate would you like to judge, Dia? Prop, sorry, 3v3 or op or 2v2?
Works
Hmm?
anything. 2v2.
Okay, 2v2, then you can move to.
You're not audible, Joanna.
Yeah, I was not speaking.
Yeah.
Give me a sec.
Have Sai gone to any of the breakout rooms?
Okay, so you're judging 2v2, then I'll move to opposition 3v3 and you can move to proposition 2v2.
Yeah, works.
Rajveer is supposed to be in the proposition, right?
Is everyone back? Please put a thumbs up or yes, something.
Yes, yes.
Great, everyone. Prep time has ended. We would now start with the debate. Anshika, could you please switch on your camera? Amir, could you please switch on your camera? Great, everyone. The 3v3 debate. The 3v3 debate will actually happen in the main room, and the 2v2 debate will happen in a breakout room.
Yeah, works. But which breakout room? Make them clear.
Yeah, give me a sec. I'm actually recreating all breakout rooms.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, can the 2v2 participants please start to move to their breakout room?
I think everyone has joined. I'll just go to that breakout.
It works. Uh, Great, everyone. I will now start. Before we start, can you all see the timer on the top right corner of your screens? It should be there in about now. Is it visible?
Yes, it's visible.
Great. This timer will go off after 4 minutes. A grace period of 50 seconds will be given to you, but out of, pure equity, I would not interrupt you in the middle of your speech. So you can go on and speak for 4 minutes and 30 seconds, and I will not interrupt it. But it's, really, really recommended for you to stop at 4 minutes, 15 seconds and do not absolutely go beyond that because marks are usually deducted for going above 4 minutes, 15 seconds. With that being clear, I will now repeat the motion. This house would this house would make all femtech innovation open source, inviting first speaker of proposition to start the debate.
Excuse me, I'm just confirming it's me, right?
You guys were supposed to decide that in your breakout rooms when you're talking with your team.
Someone told us that the chair will decide it.
Yes, I'm so sorry I misunderstood. I thought that it was supposed to be that the order was given, like, will be given to us like
Oh
by
yeah,
the
by the
registration.
registration, something like that, right?
That was the format of the debate that I already gave you, a 3v3 and a 2v2.
Okay.
Okay, no problem. Take a second, use chat and decide your speaker order. Is opposition clear with their speaker order?
Not yet. We'll talk over it in the chat.
Great, everyone. Just as a basic guideline, what happens in a prep time is you're not only supposed to make your separate content, what you're supposed to speak. You're also supposed to decide your speaker roles, what your first speaker is going to speak, what your second speaker is going to speak, what the third speaker is going to rebut about, and your entire case prep. So essentially, you do not silent prep in your prep time, especially when you're given breakout rooms with your partners. You're supposed to discuss and make a case so that whatever you're speaking coincides with whatever the next person is speaking. Is that clear? Great. Now I'm giving you time for like 1 more minute because this is supposed to be an impromptu debate, so I cannot, physically give you more time. So yeah, I hope you all will be done in a minute.
Excuse me. I wanted to clarify a thing. Each speaker is for 4 minutes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, no matter the order in which we speak, right?
Yeah, it does not matter.
Thank you.
Yeah, do I begin?
Great. Is opposition as well clear with the speaker order?
Yeah, we're clear.
Great. Since both proposition and opposition are clear, I would now invite speaker one of proposition to begin the debate.
I just wanted to confirm one thing. I have written down some of my constructives. Is it okay if I refer to them? It's a piece of paper.
Yeah, it's all right if you refer.
Will the timer begin now? Like, will you tell me? And just to clarify, I
Yes,
would
I time
prefer.
you.
Just to clarify, I would prefer if the POI is mentioned in the chat. Could I begin? Right. This house would make all femtech innovation open source. I'm Anya Rehani, and I'm going for this motion, proposition side. Women's healthcare has always been a very basic medical facility that has been ignored for generations. With the rise of technology, it's supposed to serve humanity. It's supposed to serve the people who are creating it, that are humans. So why not serve women? Why not serve women's healthcare? Imagine you're a 13-year-old girl. You just got your period, and you really don't know how to go about it. You don't really have anyone to look after you, or basically you are just a little afraid of going up to them or anyone, or just communicating how you're feeling, or you do not know how it goes, how to track your cycle, etc. With one app in the tip of your fingers in your phone, you will be able to track your start date, your end date, your ovulation date, your symptoms. You will be knowing why you are feeling on a particular date, and it will all make sense. It will be clear to you that, oh my god, okay, you are actually not going insane. Women's healthcare is an extremely basic need in this time and for all times. Awareness that has been very particular about women's healthcare. And the thing is, if we have awareness, there is no point of it if you do not convert it into accessibility for everyone, for it being open source. Modifications also come in this open source, and why modifications are important is because technology cannot be stagnant. It cannot be something that is always fixed upon. You create something and it just lasts for centuries. That it does not work that way. Technology has always evolved, and therefore we must also be a part of evolving it. And the users are the people who know best what is wrong with the app, because they use it every single day. When the users know what's wrong with the app, the suggestions can go in. The person who is responsible for example, does not want to modify it for any reason whatsoever, it should be open to the people to modify this. So, because the main target is not the profit, it's about the healthcare of women. And I would like to emphasize the credit versus patent thing. It is different. Credit and patent are two different things. People, when creating these femtech technologies, do get credit for their work. They get social credit, they get economic credit. However, a patent means you have a legal contract. You cannot really differentiate it. You cannot really basically you cannot really base people cannot really modify it without your consent. And honestly, it is about the healthcare. It is about people actually coming into a collective group and accessing technology for what it is worth, for what it is supposed to be worth, that is um, serving humanity. Thank you. Um, the thing is, I did not really see the POIs. I did not get the notifications. I just saw 3 of them in the chat.
I'm sorry, you can't take them right
Fine,
now.
fine. I just had to inform that. I did not mean to do that. I'm sorry.
Okay, we would now move on. I thank the speaker for a very fine speech. We would now move on to opposition speaker one. Speaker one.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, sure. I would like to begin with taking a point of I'd like to begin with a statement which I had like read a few days ago when I was reading about an article regarding cybersecurity. A right to transparency is kind of meaningless without a certain guarantee of safety. Hello everyone, I'm Anisha Shekhar speaking for the opposition, and I do not believe that femtech needs to be an open source. Why? Well, I got a few stuff to say. First up, when you make something open source, you are giving it you are giving it to the open society. You are giving it to everyone, and you're making it community run. And when you make something community run, you lose the complete control over defining it and over having a strict control and moderation over the usage and the and the regulation over it. For example, think of an app which tracks your menstrual cycle. Now, those are some things which are really intimate and something which cannot be shared by a woman openly to everyone, and they're personal to each person. Now, when it is community led, imagine a person who was supposed to be in charge of it, forget looking into it, and a bug has been found, and then that bug has mixed up the data, and that has now caused an irregular cycle being shown over there. And the woman then later on gets panicked and then takes up some medicine and then goes into some other problem, and boom, 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 everything's gone down. You basically created a new type of problem for the women, that is, you heard it, open source becoming a big threat. Now, that is something which is really, really, really threatening to the life of a woman, as sexual health products are really very high dose, are very high dosed and very like transformative when it comes to that. They are basically hormone regulators, and most of them can cause serious problems to the women and her future generation. So when you're making something open source, you're not only just playing with the woman's health, you're also playing with the health of the future generation of that family. Next up is let's talk about femtech. Femtech is basically one of like lot underfunded, and making something open source, you're basically just removing the only part of fund they could get. You're basically removing the only way they could be visible. You're basically removing all the rights for the person who worked so much, who worked so hard, who researched so hard, who went through so many trials, who went through so many works and works again and again and again, and then boom, it goes down just because it was supposed to be open sourced. And also, The privacy stuff, well, I don't need to explain it again. The privacy can never be trusted. Imagine a hacker just going into your sources, your cycles, your mood swings, and etc. every other day, then using it to track you on social media and then trying to. You never know what can happen in this world. So basically, making something open source is kind of like taking a big step towards a threat. And you're basically putting the lives of many women under danger. See, when you talk about transparency or something, you should remember that it does not require an open source all the time. And also, for the proposition who says that open source is helpful, it is for the community, it is supposed to be for everyone, it should be reached to everyone. Please stop with your socialistic ideas. Socialism never works all the time. Thank you.
Great. I thank the speaker for a very fine speech. We would now move on to proposition speaker two.
Can I get the self count?
Yeah, sure.
The self count of 3, 2, 1. Distinguished chair and delegates. Today we are here to talk about femtech, female health technology and its usefulness. But I hope everybody knows how helpful it is for female health and well-being as well as their mental health. Peer tracking apps that help women avoid accidents or prevent the uncertainty from not knowing when it's going to happen is very important, as well as UIDs that prevent accidental mishaps and supplements that have been developed using intensive technology are also very helpful. These help women exponentially in the long run by maintaining their health both physically and mentally. Preventing the use and distribution of these important technological advancements undermines the importance of their creation in the first place. These technologies were made to help women and making them were help to help women and making them copyright able due to patents is unfair to the women and all the people. The main purpose of health tech is to promote health and making it to unavailable and hard to access, surging prices due to intent of making more money, and increasing prices without any accountability to promote health are unfair to the less powerful and uh, financially less stable people. These legal restrictions that the open source does not provide make a company powerful and gives it an absolute authority to decide the health of women. We do need regulatory bodies, and I would like them to be implemented, but making it non-open source companies makes an company too powerful, and that makes it able to decide all the decisions and does not give it any accountability to promote any kind of social health benefits to people. I would like to delegate my rest of the time to POI if anybody has any.
So I want to ask you that who has the data of the women, the company, or the women? Like who will store the data? If I fill the form, if I like fill all the data, it's details it's asking me, who are the data, the company or the women?
The company mentions in its privacy policy who has the data, who is able to store it, and that is not within the jurisdiction of this motion. Because if one company is able to provide the services, it will also have the data, and if two companies are able to provide the service, both of them are able to collect the data. So I don't know if how important it is to the motion, but both the woman and the company will have the access to data, and the company itself will decide who can access it from within the system or outside of the system.
POI. So you said that the company has the complete rights over the data. So how do you like wish to say that the company has secured the data, making sure that it isn't being sold off or isn't being opened for other people to come and check in towards it if it's an open source?
As I mentioned in my speech, regulatory bodies are indeed important to protect data, and also the company also needs to take responsibility for the data stored, that is a private information that can only be regarded between the client and the which is the company. So the employee, which is the company, and the client, which is the woman in question, and they need this data to ensure the proper functioning of the app. But as I mentioned, uh, contract agreements are also very important, like lawyers cannot disclose personal information, hence also open source company cannot display personal information outside of the system. But it should be mentioned in the privacy policy. But at the end of the day, giving one company all of the authority is not helpful to the woman, because that one company can decide all of the decisions and the information that can be stored or given out. Hence, having more companies helps equal the market and help the woman in general.
Follow up, please.
No, I'm sorry. Cross questioning is not allowed in any ways. The time's over. So, speaker, you actually exceeded your time there. You went beyond 4 minutes 15 seconds, so I did not take any note of what you said beyond that. But nonetheless, there's also a POI after the last minute, after the third minute, basically. So, no worries, since it's you all are very since most of you are beginners, I will not take that into consideration and I will still grade this POI. But just a reminder to stay within the speaking time. I thank the speaker for a very fine speech. Moving on to second op.
Before starting, just one query. I'll have to acknowledge the POI in between my speech, right? If someone drops it in the chat, I'll have to speak, right? That I'll address it later.
You want to accept the POI. You can either say it or you can say I'll take that later. If you
Okay.
want to deny the POI, if it's verbal, you can say the POI is denied, or you can just simply ignore it.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Can I get the timer?
I'll start that as soon as you start speaking.
Okay. Not everything free is useful. Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kushi, and I strictly disagree with the motion that all femtech innovation should be open sourced. Now, the thing is, technological apps or tech in general requires investments to work with. That is, we require money to handle it, to handle the tech or fixes, technological fixes, everything. Now, that money comes from investors, and investors find uniqueness in the product. Now, if we open source these technological apps, the uniqueness will lose. Now, let's understand with the help of an example. Let's take the example of a luxury brand, right? So, every luxury brand has something of their own. Now, if everyone out there starts carrying that same luxury bag, there will be no uniqueness left. And in the same way, if there is no uniqueness left in the product, investors will not drop in money. And if there is no money, the apps won't run smoothly. And there can be errors, there can be fixes. Uh, now the thing is, social work is all good and it's all good, but without earning, there will be no zeal to make it better. There will be, the app will lose its scale, and that is not the motive of the house. uh, One of my fellow proposition members stated that how if a 13-year-old is getting their first period, they can go on the app, and they are not comfortable to talk to anybody out there, so they can go on the app, and they can help gain the information or anything. Now the thing is, we can clearly see that the problem does not rely here uh, in the app, and open sourcing won't fix anything, because the problem is the education. People are not really educated about women's health. Therefore, we are talking about open sourcing it. But the thing is, when everything is out there, that is, when everyone has access to everything, there is no responsibility. And why I'm saying it out here is because of the privacy reasons. Now, the data As a female, the data I enter on these apps is extremely private. And if it is leaked out there, who is going to take responsibility for it? And there are a lot of privacy concerns which can rise after that. My proposition members, I think, assumed that open source equals to free, but it is free to the users. But we still need money for the app maintenance, for the technical fixes, as I mentioned earlier. And medical compliances require money to provide right information and for it to be credible. So the need of an R here is that open sourcing. I can address the POI later. Open sourcing or inventing thousands of apps won't fix anything when our country's health system is demolishing brick by brick every day. Thank you. The POI you can ask.
I'm sorry, no POIs after the last minute.
All right, no issues.
Great. I thank the speaker for a very fine speech. You're done, right? Kushi, do you want to speak more? You still have 30 seconds left.
No, I'm done with my speech.
Okay, no problem. I thank the speaker for a very fine speech. I will now move on to proposition speaker 3.
Should I start?
Yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I am Avishi, and I stand firmly for the motion that this House should make all femtech innovations open source. So let's see. Currently, access to women's health technology is controlled by private corporations. Many, I would say, life-saving innovations, useful innovations in femtech are being patent. Like, you're literally giving companies to hold ownership over the tools that monitor cycles, pregnancy, and like reproductive health. So you're basically giving ownership of you're basically giving companies hold over ownership of women's health. You cannot treat I would say healthcare as a commodity, as a means of profit. Like, what should I say, like the consequences of this control and the ownership that you have given to these companies are severe. Like the femtech caters, like it exclusively caters to urban and wealthy users, since only they can use it. Not like, I won't say like only they can use it, but they are mainly accessible to them. So women in like rural or low income areas who are poor, they're excluded from these types of what should I say, facilities and amenities. And like, because of this, it only benefits few, and it creates a health gap. And also, because of these, when poor women's living in rural areas, they are not able to get these basic health care. It affects their children too. If they plan on having children, it can affect the children's too. So every day the life saving femtech, it remains inaccessible, and like women and children have to bear the cost. So I think open source access is necessary to prevent inequality. First of all, it should be accessible to every women, so that they are able to um sorry so so that they can take care of their health. I would like to end my speech here only.
Great. I thank the speaker for a very fine speech. We would now move on to third opposition.
So should I start? Should I start? So good morning, everyone. So good evening, everyone. I just want all of you to think and reflect that can we actually trust an app that has commercialized women's health? I guess you have got an answer. I think no. So I think femtech is often presented as empowering and progressive, but when we go a bit deeper, there are serious concerns that we can't ignore. So we can like talk about this by few points. Now, firstly, we are tracking over we are over tracking everything. Now, this app encourages women to track every detail like periods, moods, sleep, symptoms. Now, this does not bring up peace of mind, I guess. It creates overthinking. It seriously creates overthinking. Now, a menstrual cycle, it's a normal body change. It's a biological natural processes. Now, these changes have started feeling like warnings, which is too bad. Now, for a woman, for a girl, now instead of trusting their own bodies, now females have started depending on an app that will tell them that whether they are healthy or not, whether they are okay or not, whether they are fine or not. Now, second argument I would like to raise is that very personal information is no longer very truly private. Now, this app can deal with most intimate details of a women's life. Now, when this information is stored digitally, the user no longer has full control over it. Now, health has become data. This has raised concern of fear and discomfort now because this sensitive information should belong only to a woman or a female, not to technology platforms. Now, third argument I would like to show that I would like now this app is what this app is doing now. This app is ignoring objectivity. Everybody, every human, every female has different body structure, biological needs, biological structures. Now, this app is set on standard body structure that this is a normal body. Now, this is the body rate, this is the actual rate. Every woman has to fix in this. Now, if a woman does not fix in this, it's inactive, it's unhealthy. How? Women are not machines that work in the same patterns. Mood swings, irregular cycles, or discomforts are normal. But these femtech labels these changes are issues. Now this creates self-doubts and women feel that their bodies are faulty rather than natural. Now third, I would like fourth argument I would like to um, put on these. Now these apps have started replacing doctors in people's mind. Now many of us think now many of us begin trusting app predictions more than medical advice. So I thought that can you trust a doctor more? Can you trust this femtech more than a doctor, or will you trust a doctor more than a femtech? I hope we all will trust a doctor first because an app won't focus on objectivity, right? So apps do not understand full health histories, emotions, or complex conditions. Now, a blind trust in technology can delay proper treatment and can also create confusion. So, now at last, I would just conclude by saying that this app can promise empowerment, but in reality, it can bring stress, privacy risks, self-doubt, and inequality. Now, technology can support healthcare, but it should never control it. So, I would just like to conclude that's it. Thank you.
Great. I thank the speaker for a very fine speech. Guys, just give me 2 minutes and I'll come back with my verdict and OA. Till then, both floors can shake hands.
Are we allowed to speak?
Let's
Or can
ask
speak.
someone if we can.
She's still in the meeting. I guess we can ask her.
I'm sorry,
Yes,
guys.
yes.
Is there any doubt?
Uh, no, 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 no. We just wanted to have a chat,
Can we
like an open
informally
chat.
speak?
Yeah, you can informally speak. You can shake hands, cross floors.
Sure, thank you.
Please maintain a respectful language, though.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, sure. Hey, opposition, I just wanted to ask you something. All of you, like,
Was it related? Is your question related to the top motion or related to the way we spoke?
no, it's related to motion. Like, I think everybody spoke just fine. I think I fumbled the most. But like, my question was like, why was
No,
everybody
I
misunderstanding
fumbled the
between?
most.
No, everybody. Opposition. I just wanted to ask, why was everybody misunderstanding regulation for control?
No, not control. The thing is that, like,
Like,
the
I think
regulation is
everybody
hard when it
mentioned.
is community based.
No, my question, my
Like,
point was key that everybody was speaking that making it open source will make it more controllable. But like, if you only have one major authority, then how would you decrease control? Like, they have absolute authority. How would you oppose
no,
it
no, no, no,
anyway?
no, no. Like, wait. Like, basically, when it is like open source, the problem is that you like give it to a bunch of people, and you cannot like when you give it like when you widen that area of like giving to the people. The problem is that you don't. The thing is that the work is divided. And when work is divided, everyone has to remain accountable and has to like check over it all the time. Even if a single person does not do that in a tech team, then that's gonna be a big problem ahead. And like
I
when
think
and also like when we talk about one authority, we're not meaning a one single person. We mean a team which is designed by professional, like a list, and the team is also filled with professionals who can like understand the moment and then work on it at that moment. That is something which is like done in most companies when it comes to such things.
that's the point I had to like when people think it's an open source company, it's that if it's an open source company, it's not an individual anyway. So like there's always going to be a peer review. And the thing is, like you said, like there's control, but a lot of the time when you see that there's patented technology that's very helpful to humankind as a whole, that the intent of making money often surpasses it. Because sure enough, the person who made it, the first generation innovator, was definitely worried about providing technology, but the second generation, or the people who acquire the company, not necessarily care about the propaganda, which is not propaganda, sorry, the aim, which is to promote health, and often concern themselves with making money. And if we make it open source, there's a very much more likely chance that they will be able to make this possible.
Great. Hey everyone. I hope you had a lot of fun in the debate as well as in the informal session. So before I start my OA, I just have one question. Rajveer was in the meeting. Give me a sec. Um, okay, I guess he left. No problem. Everyone, so how the OA will work is first I'll give my verdict and then I'll give my case feedback on both of them and then I'll give a speaker by speaker feedback. So essentially your case feedback will include your speaker by speaker feedback as well. Is there any doubts related to the format?
I had a doubt related to the format. Like when you said that the last 60 seconds were protected as well, I was very confused about what I should do with those last 60 seconds. Because usually when I finish my speech, I would like someone to point out the POIs that they have. So like it was very confusing to go around it.
Okay, I'll explain that later. I was talking about the format of my OA.
Okay, I have none.
Okay, that's all right. I'll get to that question later. It's a very important question as well. Great, everyone. So, listen, you all, it was a really fun debate. I loved chairing this debate, but in the end, someone has to get the verdict. So, the verdict for this debate goes to side proposition. Now, I have two major reasons for that. Firstly, I felt like there was some sort of misunderstanding regarding the whole idea of open source in this debate because the opposition pushed two major points. Right, the opposition pushed two major points. One was the concern of privacy, and the second one was the concern of, give me a sec, I wrote down, yeah, the second one was the concern of underfunding. So the underfunding concern really made sense, but the privacy concern was not really very relevant. And I'll get to that as well and why. So, but the main reason for the verdict, why it goes to side proposition, is basically due to two reasons. Firstly, the proposition was well enough and clear to tell me why women's healthcare is a very basic thing and why rise of tech is supposed to serve the humanity, and thus their side actually comes here and supports this, and its open sourcement will actually allow people to come here and modify it and distribute it and help it reach everyone. Right. What there was lacking inside opposition was they kept talking about privacy. But I was not really given a lot of information for sake to tell me why does privacy even matter in this debate. Right. Two major reasons for that, and that I'll introduce in the case feedback. First, I want to ask, is there any case, but if there is, you guys could put it in the chat. All right. I will now move on to actually explain you. I'm still audible, right? It shows me
My
my
internet
internet
connection
connection
was
is unstable.
interrupted. Can you just please say the last 10 seconds, please?
Yeah, I'll repeat that. Am I still audible, right?
Yes.
The thing is, my internet was also sort of lagging. Could you repeat
Guys, if
from
I'm
why
not,
privacy is not very relevant in this debate you were going on about it?
yeah, I'll get to that. I'll get to that. See, guys, what matters in this debate is firstly, I'll tell you what open source actually means. See, when companies or a certain technology is made, usually everyone gets a patent. And what it means by patent is the one who has the patent, only that person can actually come here and make more models out of that very specific technology. Only they can modify it, only they can distribute it. What it means to be open source is that this technology is available for free to everyone to modify, everyone to distribute, everyone to make. For example, energy. Solar panel, solar energy is a technology that is available as an open source to everyone. Anyone today can make a company that works on the fundamental principles of solar energy. And they could come here and modify it, they could come here and sell it, redistribute it, etc., etc. Right? And there are other companies that are very patented. For example, patented YouTube is a patented company. That is, that idea cannot be redistributed as the exact same thing, right? That's what the patent claims. So when you guys came here and debated about privacy, the thing that did not really make sense to me was even if a company is over open source, it is still regulated, right? Companies, open source companies still are open source technology is still made by companies, right? And if it is made by companies, companies are still regulated, companies still have privacy policy that they should follow, and they do follow it. So the concern of privacy did not really make sense to me because why is even in the first place privacy getting leaked from their own companies, right? Does that make sense to everyone?
Yes.
Yes, Avnish, go ahead.
Like, I had a doubt. So, like, but we do see that many companies like getting their data, like getting like opened out or getting their data leaked and stuff, and the like data of users of a certain app or a website being like leaked out or either being like open for many people at some point or something. So, won't that also be a part over here?
Yeah, see, data always gets leaked, data always gets stolen, right? But that is, equal on both sides. Even patented companies lose their data. Even Instagram has privacy threats every day. And even, other open source companies have privacy threats every day. But the point with that is, even if a company is open source and it still has privacy threats to it, a patented company at the same place will have privacy threats to it as well. That is a company to company problem, not an open source to patent source problem.
Okay, okay. Now I get it. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem. Avishi?
I had like, I'm not sure if it's like related, but Will we get any certificates or anything since we won?
I will get to that after my OA, okay? Let me complete
Sure,
my
sure.
OA. Yeah, no problem. So now I will move on to the case feedback. And a really important thing I want to tell you all is this is a WSDC debate. What it means by a WSDC debate is that your case should progress with each speech. All right, that means if the first speaker introduced a point, the second speaker must elaborate on that point more and not repeat the point in different words. And the third speaker must come here and either rebut whatever the other side said or extend their case more, right? I mean, anyone could rebut in this speech, but essentially the third speaker majorly rebuts. So this is a WSDC debate. A problem that I observed on both sides was that even if there was extension to a particular point, either that extension was not relevant or that extension was very weak. All right, but don't worry, you guys are beginners. You can still improve on that. I'll tell you how to improve on that as I gave you a speaker by speaker feedback as well. So the majority of case pushed by proposition was first, that women's healthcare is very basic. It should be supplied to everyone, and making it open source means that anyone can redistribute it and direct it, thus making it very possible to supply to everyone, even in women in rural areas, etc., etc. Right? The main two arguments run by opposition was first, privacy, and second, funding. Now, I really like the funding point in speaker 2, I really like the funding point, but the problem is I took the funding point into consideration, but since the funding point was introduced very late, proposition did not have time to rebut to that. Proposition only had one speech to rebut to that, that is proposition speaker 3. Only that speaker could actually rebut to opposition speaker two's point. If that point was pushed up and introduced in the opposition speaker one speech, that would have made really the opposition case overall really strong, and you might have won this debate, but since it was introduced really less and there was not even a great extension to it in the third speech, I could not really take it into a winning consideration or a tipping it over consideration. So I suggest that the underfunding point was actually really great. You could push that up and it would be really better. Privacy, as I told you, was not really the concern here, but since it was pushed throughout the three speaker speeches, I had to take it into consideration. All right, so that resulted in negative. Any doubt regarding the case feedback? I think that is none. Great. I will now move on to speaker by speaker feedback. So how this is going to work is first I will clear all of proposition speakers and then I will clear all of opposition speakers, and you can ask doubts whenever I say is there any doubt. All right. Great. So for speaker one, okay, this is very general. This is to all of you. I really liked how all of your speeches were very authentic and there was no AI or internet in it at all. Really good job, guys. Great work on that. Now I would move on to speaker by speaker feedback. Opposition speaker one actually was a great speaker. I really enjoyed listening to her. There was a lot of voice modulation and there was a lot of points. There was a very clear structure. I could really tell where this entire thing was going. She began with a claim, then she gave me an example, then she gave me a very proper reasoning onto why this works. And then she gave me a sort of clarification on why credit and patent are two different things, which I felt like was a really important clarification, but it was not acknowledged by opposition at all. So that does not really matter in this debate. But yeah, it was a pretty important clarification to the overall debate sense. So the only feedback I would give you is you need to take POIs in your speech. All right. If supposedly you're not confident enough that you'll be able to answer the POIs really well, do not take POIs. But in every case, POIs only benefit you unless you're, not at all confident. So even if you're a tiny bit confident or you feel like, okay, I can answer this, you always should take POI. So that is one feedback I'll give to speaker one, because guys, get this. This is to all of you. If you feel like you cannot answer a POI, there's always your next speaker that can answer it maybe better. So your next speaker can come here and say, also a response to the POI asked in previous one, etc., etc., and your next speaker could always address it. It's not really very vital, it's not really very necessary, and it does not always happen. But it could if you tell your second speaker to address the POI, or it could if it breaks down your entire case, right? So I really encourage that you should take POIs. There's very less loss in actually taking POIs. So yeah, there's one that. Speaker one, is there any doubt?
Yes, it's not really a doubt. I just wanted to say something. The thing is, while I was speaking, I tend to, I don't know, not look at the camera or whatever. I tend to zone out in my head. So the problem is, I did not even see the chat box or the notifications. I did not even know that there was a POI. So I would have taken it. But yeah, that's it. I've learned from it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. And if that's really the case that you do not look at the chat box or anything, I suggest you take your POIs verbally. Even I do that. I always tend to look at my paper or my docs. So I always tell the other speakers that, oh, I will only take my POIs verbally. So please speak up POI.
I was just afraid that the flow might break. That's why I just suggested the chat thing. But yeah, thanks.
See, the thing is, even in an offline WSDC debate or even in an offline AP debate, they will break your flow. They will raise their hand and they will say POI. All right. So that is the thing that you need to get accustomed to, because that is what usually happens. Only in online cases you get the privilege of getting, chat POIs, but it's majorly always, verbal POIs. Great.
Got it. Thank you.
No problem. Now I would move on to speaker two. Great. Speaker two, good speech. I really liked it. I felt like the introduction was kind of the introduction was good, but it was kind of irrelevant because in the introduction, I was given that supplement using text is also, very useful, and femtech is really important for mental and physical health as well. So if you want to give me an introduction like that, you need to connect it with your argument. You need to tell me that femtech is really important for mental and physical health. Examples of femtech are this, and this. And you know why it is really important? Since it is really important for physical and mental health, we need to distribute this a lot. And this is how we distribute it. So essentially, if you give me an introduction like that, I want you to connect it to the main body of your argument so that it's not just hanging in the middle and it actually has a connection. And I am not left to make a connection out of it. That is one feedback I would give you. And secondly, I would tell you to actually work on the reasoning of your arguments a lot. What it means by working on the reasoning is, for now, you actually gave me a claim that when like main purpose of this tech is to promote health and not profit. By increasing these tech to promote health is always better, since without legal restrictions, it transfers this to poor people as well. Yes, it still requires regulatory bodies, etc., 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 etc. Your argument went like that. What I would prefer you do in this argument is that the main purpose of femtech is to promote health. Yes, very true. You need to tell me what is the incentive of these people to actually come here and promote, health instead of profit, and why health should be promoted over profit. If you could give me that, that's great. But what I actually mean by increasing the reasoning part is that you need to tell me that how, without patents or without legal restrictions, this tech actually distributes better to the poor people that you're claiming it distributes to. All right, because I wasn't really given that connection, that how does open source make distribution better. So I would really suggest you add on that, because reasoning is a really important part of your overall arguments in a debate. Because see, how you make your arguments is three ways: claim, reasoning, and evidence. The reasoning part of the argument is really important because that is the only thing that matters in debates where you're not allowed to use your internet or AI, as a matter of fact. So reasoning is really important. I would tell you to improve on that. And that is majority of the feedback. Any doubts?
Yes, I do have a doubt. So instead of like having a general speech, you are saying that I should go deeper into some specific points, even if the rest are ignored as a whole. Is that what you're saying? Because I feel like I wrote a general speech and did not go deep into enough, and that was the part you were criticizing the most.
See, what I mean by improving on your reasoning is that your speaker two in WSDC, right? Your main work is extension of speaker one. You add on to the arguments that your speaker one actually mentioned. So how do you add on to your arguments? You improve the reasoning part of it. You go into the actual depth of why does this work? How does this work? And what impact does it have? When you answer all those questions within your argument, your automatic reasoning increases, and it makes your argument sound more credible. It makes your arguments more, important and really, really well framed. So that's what I'm telling you to do as a speaker too. But essentially, yes, you should, if you're anyways presenting an argument, you should really go into the depth of it so that it's really better for the judge as well as your overall case.
Okay, because I had prepared points for the opposition speeches, and I did not mention it in my speech because I felt like I was going too deep into just one point and then ignoring the rest of the point. Like you said, I was going to extend more on the supplements, UIDs, and health tracking apps more, but I felt like I was leaving some points on the table for the extension. So I felt like I should include those two. So I cut out the explanation part. So should I not? Should I have not done that?
Yeah, see, quality of two arguments is always better than quantity. All right. In a 4 minute speech, I suggest you to present one argument, but present it very, very thoroughly. And even if you introduce to a second argument, so get this, your speaker one already talked about how distribution is very affected by being open source, right? So what you could do is you could extend on it a little bit and then actually present your argument to about supplements. But for that you need to actually talk with your speakers. You need to actually, as a collective team, decide which argument are you going to run as your primary argument, and you need to focus on that in your speech. All right, so quality over quantity, always keep that in mind.
Okay.
Great. All right, so this is also a concern I would like to address. There were two POIs in this speech, right? And these POIs was who has the data of the company, or the women, right? This was one POI. This was related to the privacy, and I already told you why privacy really does not matter in this debate. The second POI, however, was how do we make sure that if it is open source, other people can't check in? Both of these POIs were related to privacy. Both of these POIs were not really very relevant, and both of these POIs did not even come within the jurisdiction of this debate. Guys, get this. If you ask the speaker who has the data, the company or the women, that is not a part of his jurisdiction. What he needs to do is he needs to decide if he needs to make it open source, or if he needs to make it patented. He's supporting he needs to make it open source. How does it matter where the data of the company goes to, women or women or the company? So either way, if you're going to present me a POI like that, either work on the POI a lot, make it make sense to the debate, or introduce it in a format that you can actually go ahead and claim that, okay, this is why it matters in the debate. All right, is that clear? Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still really encourage you to ask POIs. POIs are really great. You should always, always ask them. So great job on asking POIs. This was a really interactive debate, a really good part of the debate. All right, so now moving on to the third speaker of proposition. The third speaker of proposition mainly gave me an extension of the argument, but what I would prefer from the third speaker is you address rebuttals and you address weighing. What I mean by weighing is that you weigh clashes. You come here and tell me that opposition pitched privacy, we pitched distribution, and this is why distribution is always better than privacy. I want the third speakers to address rebuttals. I want the third speakers to actually weigh, and if you still have time left, then I want you to provide extensions to that. And even if you are providing extensions, I really want you to work on the reasoning part of it, because a really, a doubt that I had in your speech is that you talked about how your side will make it accessible to people in urban areas. How their side made it accessible to people in the urban areas only, and how your side actually makes it accessible to the rural ones. But you need to tell me, how does your side do that? All right, because that is really important. You need to tell me, how does your side improve that? Because right now I was pretty clueless on how your side actually works. I mean, as if I was a debater, I know what your side meant, but as a chair, I would not go ahead and connect the dots and make it work for your side. All right, so I would want you to work on your reasoning, and I would want you to
Okay,
work on
okay.
your playing in clashes. Great.
Sure, sure.
Great. Now I would move on to opposition speaker one. The really great thing about opposition speaker one speech is that they actually signposted me. They were like, this is my introduction, this is my first argument, this is my second argument, this is where I take POIs, this is where I conclude. All right, so signposting is really great because it makes the overall structure of your speech really clear to the chair, and in the end benefits you. But the major problem I had was, one, the privacy argument. It did not make sense. It did not need to be run as your main argument. That is, one thing I would suggest you. If you're speaker one and you're introducing arguments, The arguments you introduce should be the arguments that your entire case stands on. All right. If your core arguments are really not that important, then your entire case essentially falls. So your argument too, that was femtech is really underfunded, and when we make it open source, you are removing the only way it could get funding. It was a really interesting take on it, and I would have really preferred if that could have been really run as your main argument, but it did not really have a lot of reasoning for me to take it as your main argument. So I had to take your argument one as your main argument, and you that is why you kind of lost the debate on your main argument, and that is to all the speakers of proposition, because you essentially discussed together and made arguments, right? So same feedback. If you're discussing together, I need you to actually go ahead and look at which argument is actually the most important in this debate and which argument really matters. All right, so that is one feedback I would give you. Are there any doubts? Great, I think there are none. But overall, speaker one, I really liked how you speak. The modulation and all were pretty great. The modulation, in fact, in all of your speeches was pretty great. I like how you all spoke. Your style was really great. Good job on that, everyone. Okay, now I'll move on to speaker two. Speaker two, I loved your speech. Frankly speaking, I absolutely loved your speech. It had pretty important points. It had a very clear structure, great examples. I really appreciated all of that. Places I feel like you could work on is you actually introduced an argument about funding that was introduced by the first speaker. So you extended on that really well. I really appreciate it. It could have been pushed up to speaker one. So essentially, what you need to do as a speaker, as a debater, as a team, is that if you feel like your argument is kind of better and should run as the main argument, you need to tell it to the first speaker that this is how I will proceed about the argument. I want you to actually pay enough attention to this argument so that it can run as our main argument. All right. I wanted to do that. Pitch your arguments if you feel like they're really great and they should run as main arguments. And secondly, you also talked about privacy concerns and who is responsible for the data, where it goes to. And in your last line, you actually said free doesn't mean free to make it just free for the yeah, free doesn't mean free to make, free it just means free to the user to use. I did not really understand the point of it here. You could have given me a connection to why this is important, and even if it is a rebuttal, you could have actually worked on the reasoning part of this rebuttal as to why is this rebuttal important, why are you addressing this rebuttal, and why is this rebuttal relevant to the speech. I feel like that would have made your speech better, and always take POIs. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Great. Now I'll move on to the third speaker. The third speaker, the third speaker in this speech actually went against femtech. You need to realize that your stance was not to go against femtech. Your stance was actually to go against open sourcing, femtech. Your stance was to support femtech in patents. You cannot come here and go against femtech itself, because that is not what you were supposed to do. And your entire speech was about how, femtech is a risk to privacy and why would women do that and they're over dependent on that. So I suggest talk with your teammates regarding this. The more you guys talk among yourselves in prep time, the better it is for you, so that all of your cases aligning, all of your speeches aligning, and your one teammate is not completely going against something they're not even supposed to. All right, is there any doubt, speaker three? But apart from that, I really love how you spoke. It was great. It was, the modulation, the style, it was great. Anything else? Any doubts? Great. I think none. So, guys, with that, I come to my end of OA. What I would suggest you all do is that there's a WSDC crash course coming up. All right. This debate that you just did was WSDC, right? So, if in any case you want to improve on your WSDC, I suggest take the WSDC crash course. It's a 2-day crash course happening on 24th and 25th. I'll be there in the meeting as well. I'm one of the leads on those projects, and it's completely free to attend, and will actually tell you how does WSDC work, how to frame your arguments, how to frame rebuttals, how to take POIs, when to not take POIs, when to take POIs, do's, don'ts, basically everything related to WSDC. And it's a really, really great lecture. I think you should really, I think you'll really enjoy that. And probably we'll have debates on that as well. We'll have mock debates on day 2, so great practice. I suggest you join that as well. I'll drop the link tree for that in the chat. Uh, Dia, are you in the meeting?
Yes, I am.
If there's anything you would like to say, go ahead. I'm done with my OA.
No, no, I've given my feedbacks in the breakout room itself.
Yeah, great. Everyone here is the link tree. Go through that. There's the WhatsApp community, there's the YouTube channel, etc., etc. If you have any doubts, you're probably already in our community. But if there's any doubts regarding future events or debate trainings or anything, as a matter of fact, feel free to DM me or Dia. We will be available. All right, and I really suggest you check out. Yeah, Dia, will we be giving certificates?
No, we are not going to give the certificates. Yeah, you can join the WSDC course. I think they'll provide the certificates there. No, for this impromptu debate, you will not have the certificates, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yeah, so there will most probably be no certificates, but in case there's any change on that, we'll let you know via your WhatsApp group. But any case, do join the WSDC crash course. There's also a big event coming up on 31st, the dramatic interpretation event. Join that. And in case you want to practice debating, join daily debates as well. All three of them are really great ways to practice debating. And dramatic interpretation is actually a really great take on public speaking. It's a memorized thing, so essentially you prepare yourself. And we will definitely be providing certificates in dramatic interpretation, and most probably in WCC crash course as well. But again, that depends. So, any doubts regarding anything?
I have a doubt regarding the interpretation, which is like how do we like present it? Like I did not understand just from reading the message.
Okay, so what dramatic interpretation basically means is that you need to get yourself a play, a story, a poem, or an extract from any published source of literature. For example, you can take a play from Shakespeare, from Romeo Juliet, Macbeth, Julius Caesar, anything works. And what you're supposed to do is that you're supposed to recite out that entire thing in a way that it feels like storytelling to the audience. All right, you can impersonate the characters and speak in a way you think they would speak. You could, actually narrate it from a narrator's point of view if your text suggests that you're a narrator. Narrate it from the narrator's point of view, and basically engage with the audience as much as can. Use voice modulation, body language, multiple characters, anything. Interpret it in a way that you feel like it's going to be shown on stage.
So
Does
we
that
do
make it
we
clear?
have do we have to follow the script, which is the like the passage word for word, or do we can make some light changes to it?
You can make a few light changes to it so that it's smoother for you all to speak, but you cannot make changes that change the gender of the character or the entire plot or anything too major for us to actually deduct your marks on that. You can make slight changes, that is allowed.
Joanna, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I think we have one more debate, right? Like between the five people, I think.
No, I don't think so. Do you want to do that? I only thought there will be a 3v3 and a 2v2
No,
because then
I think,
we, you
yeah,
know,
I think we should do a final between 3v2, like, if it's okay.
give me a sec, I'll confirm with Shri.
Yeah.
Till then, do you guys have any other doubts?
Will there not be individual awards as in best speaker or anything like that?
No, there will be no awards like best speaker or anything like that. Uh, because this was majorly, very informative and practice way of debating. Where there will be awards is dramatic interpretation. There will be awards in that. And also WTC crash course, if I'm not wrong, but then again, I have to confirm that.
Uh,
Just
yeah,
confirm there will be no other debate except for
Joe.
this. We have two winners, one in the senior category of 3v3 and one in the 2v2 category. I don't think anyone from 2v2 category is here, but which side won there?
Proposition, Sanvi and Rajveer.
Okay, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
With that, we end this here. We end the impromptu debate. You guys are free to leave. If you have any doubts, feel free to stay back or DM either me or Dia.
Yes,
Yeah, there will be fun times.
you all should join the WSTC course. Like it is really informative, and your all doubts can be cleared there about how to conduct the debate in a WSTC format. All the doubts will be cleared by Joanna. Joanna is lead there. So I think you should join there also, and also the big event that is going to happen on 31st Jan, the dramatic interpretation. Yeah.
Great. Anyone? Any doubts? I'm sorry, Dia. Did I interrupt you? Go ahead. I'm
No,
so
no,
sorry.
no. No, no, it's okay. I just finished. Does anyone have doubts about any of the events or like anything they want? Okay, I don't think you all have doubts. So, yeah, we just end the meet here. If you have any doubts, just DM me or Joanna. We are available for you. You can also connect for daily debates that happen. This can improve your confidence, I think. So just join the networking group on WhatsApp, Discord, Linktree, everywhere. So yeah, we just end the meet here. Congratulations to the winners. The TDD Quick Impromptu Debate ended here. The links are there in the chat box. You can just copy it or you can just join now only. Yes. Thank you guys. Have a great day ahead.
Great, everyone. You're free to leave.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I just had a personal doubt that regarding my speech, which was should I have added the points when in the first opposition was speaking? I wrote down points for the I wrote rebuttal points, which was like regulation is important and hacking is a concern for every tech industry. Tech needs innovation, not uniqueness. It's not a want and it's a need. So, like, should I have expanded on that in my speech by making quick changes on the spot, or should I have not done it?
Joanna, are you here? I think she has a network issue.
Yes.
Mm, Joanna?
Uh, Audible, everyone?
No, you're not clearly audible.
Okay, is it better now?
Yeah, yeah. Please answer
Yeah,
Amir's doubt.
Yeah. Amay, I think you should have included rebuttals because since you were the second speaker, right? And second speaker's major job is two things: extensions and rebuttals. So it would have been really great if you included the rebuttals. Of course, they can always will be improvements. So yeah, it would have been great if you added them.
Okay, yeah, that's all I had for a doubt.
Okay, guys, you are free to leave. If you have any doubts, you can ask me or Joanna. Avinash, you have any doubt?
Yeah. So I just wanted to know, like, when it comes to impromptu debate, like this is something which I wanted to ask personally. So
Yeah,
when it
yeah.
comes to impromptu debates, or when it comes to like on-spot debates or something, I felt that sometimes if I don't know the topic a lot, if I don't know, then I start to generalize stuff. How can I like
Yeah.
avoid that?
Okay,
I would just recommend, Joanna, you speak first. I'll speak after you.
Nana, go ahead, dear.
Okay, so I would just like to suggest you first organize your thoughts, and I think you should
Go
practice
ahead, Dia.
more.
I think my internet connection is stable. I do some.
Yes, yes, I'm talking. I think your internet connection is a weak right now. Okay, so Avinash, I think you should organize your thoughts. You should not just generalize the facts or everything. I know, like I've been there. I don't know about the topic, and like I'm really nervous and I'm not able to talk about it. So I think you should just organize some of the facts that you know about it, and you can elaborate on it. Like today you were not allowed to use the search engines or AI or anything. So you should have just organized your thoughts that you know about this fact. Like for example, there is an impromptu speech about like any actor motions on actor motions, like about why this happened, why that happened, or anything, or any emotion. Like for example, we can take a motion like education should be like digital. We should not have classrooms or anything. So I don't have facts, I don't have stats, but I can organize my thoughts. Like, what should I do as a proposition or opposition? And I can elaborate on that a little bit, and I can talk to the person. It's not important that you have to have the facts, you have to know the topic about it. Impromptu is that only. Like, you have to organize, you have to speak on the facts, you have to elaborate a little bit. It's not like nahi hame karna hi hai. You have to, you if you have 2 points also, you have to speak up a little bit. You have to elaborate on it if you are not allowed to use search engines or anything.
Yeah, I get it. But like it was supposed to be a more formal type of debate, no? So I didn't go. Like if it were a bit of informal, then I would have. I'm okay with more informal type of settings and etc. Because
Yeah,
I've
but
mostly done MUNs and informal debates. That's why. So
okay,
it was
but
something
I
new for
don't
me.
think, yeah, so I think to clarify this doubt or everything, to improve your condition of this, you can just join WSDC course. I think there you'll more be able to understand how to work on that motion if you don't know about the facts about that motion. If you are not understanding the motion properly, that's a different concept. You can just ask the chair to explain you. Yeah, it's free of cost. You don't have to pay anything to learn. You like on WSDC course, you can just join there. They'll teach you. You can ask doubts and everything. It's a 1v1 session. Like
Not a one to
you
one
will
deal.
get a, yeah, not a 1v1, but you will get a personal attention if you raise your hand, anything. Yeah. Joanna, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so Avnish, what I got majorly out of your doubt was that if you do not know a lot about what the topic is about, you'll not be able to speak about it, right?
Yeah, like that's what I was like majorly thinking about because it's kind of as they said, it was more like it goes like a chaos in my mind. Like, okay, this point is coming, this point is coming, this point is coming, and it's like coming from all sides, and I don't know what I'm speaking at sometimes all of a sudden.
Yeah, so in this topic, in what I gave you, femtech and open source, could you give me an example so that I'm able to explain it to you better? Example of how,
Um,
You can take
okay,
example of today's motion only.
yeah, okay. So like today it was about femtech being an open source. So my mind started playing on, okay, it started going on of, Okay, open source. Okay, femtech. So basically, I immediately remembered the pink tax, but then it was not connected at all to this thing to us sometime. And then when I told that it's open source and basically it is not the person, it is not monetized, then I got the thought of okay, then the people who researched about it, who learned about it, they don't get money. But then how will I structure it? How will I bring it forward and in what order? And then at the same time, I thought about like, okay, wait, it's an open source. So will there be privacy concerns? But then it turned out that it is not connected to this at all. So yeah, those were the things that continuously went on and on. And then I tried to connect them somehow. I don't know how it connects, whether it connected or not. Yeah, something, this is what happens when I try to go bit formal and wanted to like go in a structured way.
Yeah, I got that. So, what I suggest you do is write your thoughts down. Get a piece of paper and write whatever you feel like is coming to your mind. You title it Argument 1, Privacy, Argument 2, Under pink tax. And when you've written everything that comes to your mind, then establish connections. So, in the 10 minutes that we gave you today, you could have essentially functioned in the way first, you frame all the arguments that you think are relevant. All right, then you start and write how they can be relevant to the motion. For example, you thought of pink tax, but then you thought that okay, pink tax is not relevant, cut the argument down. You thought of privacy, think about a way that how does privacy affect this motion, why does privacy affect this motion, what all benefits, what all impact it has. And then if you feel like okay, this is solid, go ahead with it. If you feel like okay, no, underfunding is better, this will be my main argument, go ahead with it. I can mention privacy, but I'll mention it sort of less because this is not directly related to the motion.
Okay. Now I get it.
Yeah. And in case you do not know about the motions, always ask for motion clarifications. You can ask once, twice, thrice, any times, but essentially read a lot. Read newspapers, read articles, anything so that you're more aware.
Okay, so basically, I just need to like pin down my thoughts, organize this and structure it on paper. Then I'll get a more clearer idea. And then at the same time, if I do not get what the topic is about or what the motion is about, I need to get a more clearer picture about it before I start thinking so that I may not like misinterpret it or get a wrong meaning or understanding of what should be told. Right.
Yes, but always ask motion clarifications before the prep time begins because in the prep time, only a very few tournaments actually allow you to have motion clarifications. Essentially, it's only the first 5 minutes after the motion is released that you can ask questions on the motion. So keep that in mind.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
and Avinash, one more last thing. Today you
Yeah.
had a time like to ask Joanna about the clarification as I think everyone was asking, right? So you could have asked her what is about like open source or anything. You should be more confident for asking to the chair.
No, I did
Because
ask about open source. I did ask about open source,
oh
and she
yeah,
did
my
explain it.
bad.
No worries, no worries, no worries. She did explain it, and that's what kind of like got me a much more broader idea of what this meant. Actually, initially I thought that this basically meant that Femtech Femtech is supposed to be open source. I kind of like made it think that this is basically something which is meant for female and should be open for everyone and not to only to a certain community or something like it. I thought it was something discriminative happening around, but then after explained it, I understood it much better.
Okay.